All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, this is another episode on our Motherhood series. Today, I'm talking to Shetia. Corica is not with us at the moment. It's possible that she may join, or it could just be me and Shetia today. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. But Shetia has, I think, a really great story that she's going to share with us. I'm excited to hear about it. And if this is your first time watching, the goal of this is just to talk to other moms about their journey, their experiences. Motherhood is beautiful. It's complicated. It's a lot of different things. It's rewarding. It's challenging. But I think that in these conversations, the ultimate goal is to just try and learn from each other, be inspired from each other's story, because my journey in motherhood is not your journey. And I just think that there's beauty in us being able to have these conversations. So to start off, Shetia, just tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from, how many children you have, their ages, all of that good stuff.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Tracy. Thank you for this interview. I feel honored. My name is Shetia. I am a Greene County native, currently residing in Athens. I have two boys, 16 and 21. Um, I've worked in healthcare for about 10 years. Let's see what else. I'm a reservist for the U.S. Army. Um, yeah, yeah.
And this is, I just really want to jump right in because like I am super interested in learning about you becoming a reservist, right? And
Okay.
so, Shatia, I'm gonna tell you what I know. And I won't say if I'm outsider, but just not being in the nitty gritty, right? Like in your day-to-day life. And
Hmm.
then I want you to just kind of tell us your story.
Okay.
So your oldest is 21, and you had him. Well, actually, I'm gonna let you tell it. You had your oldest. Tell us about you having your oldest and what that was like when you found out that you were pregnant with him. So let's do that.
Okay, so let's just run it all the way back. So I would say a junior in high school. Some friends of mine, we had this idea that we were going to join the army. Okay, together. So we're going to go. And at that time, they had like a buddy program where you could go in together, do your basic training, do everything together. All right, cool. 12th grade year gets here, and everybody backs out except for one person. So, okay, we go in, and I didn't know that she had changed her MOS. And that is what you go into the military for, like your job. So we shipped out together, but she shipped out before me because like some things had happened. And so we were no longer on the buddy system. So it was just me freestyling. I'm like, dang. But anyways, we go in. It was hard. It was hard then because I mean, just coming out of high school. But it didn't go as planned. So and just having like a lot of things, issues going on in there. And I took a pregnancy test before I left. Took a pregnancy test while I was there, and I took two pregnancy tests while I was there. Nothing came back. So I'm like, man, like something is not right. Like my boobs hurt. It was just everything was just bad. So I ended up coming home. When I came home, that's when I found out that I was 8 weeks pregnant. So I'm like,
Wait, so when you say you came home, had you completed your basic training?
no,
Okay.
no, I didn't even go to basic training. It was just like a lot of stuff was going on. So I came back, and I was only over there for 4 weeks.
Okay.
So this was like a dream of mine. So to go over there and come back home, I'm like, dang. But then as soon as I got home, I went and got a pregnancy test, found out I was 8 weeks pregnant. So I was already pregnant before I left. I was already pregnant.
So, so you find out you're pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
right? Back home, Tia, what like what went, I know you had these suspicions, right? That
Hmm.
like something's not right. But when you actually find out like I am in fact pregnant, like what went through your mind?
I was scared. I was so scared. I mean, I was a baby and I
Yeah.
had dreams. Like, my plan was to go into the military, do my 20 years, retire. I mean, I had it laid out to how many kids I would have, to what year I would be, how at the age I would be married, the cars, the traveling. None of that was going to happen. So, like, it is what it is. I was being grown. So that is the outcome. So I had my son, and they said that, you can come back after 6 months, but you have to sign your child over. 6 months. Like, who wants to leave a 6 month old? And then just life started life. And I did not go back. It was like, I want to go back. And I was like, no, I don't want to go back. And as the years went by, I still wanted to go. That was like a lifelong dream of mine. And then I got pregnant again 5 years later. And I'm like, oh, that's it. I know it's not going to happen now. And now he's 16. And at 16, I went in. So he was 16, I was 39. I was like, I want to go back. I'm going back. Nothing is stopping me. And I can remember my mom saying, like, why? But why do you want to do this? Like, why? And I was like, I just felt like I started something and I needed to finish it.
Yes. I feel that like that you started right and like you had in your mind for at least your junior year, right? That like this was your plan, this was your path. Okay. So as you are going through life, raising your two boys, even though it was something that you always wanted to do, were you really making like preparation and plans to go, or was it just something in your mind of like, I know I want to do this, but I don't know. Like, how were you?
No, I was so when now that my oldest son is 21, and he left, he's doing his own thing. Um, and then my youngest, because I grew up with my oldest, I think. I mean, I was young, had a young baby, so we grew up together. So there were things that I learned to do differently with my youngest son. So I said, okay, well, let me teach him how to do this, that, so it'll prepare him when I do leave. Not saying that I will be gone forever, but for that short time frame that I would be gone, that he would be okay with me leaving. But it was just um, staying in contact with some of the sergeants that I had spoken to, staying in contact with some of the soldiers that I had met, and just knowing what to expect. And I was all in. I said, physically, it's okay. I'll adapt to that. Mentally, oh, I was prepared. It's like, oh, I mean, I have kids. I'm older. So mentally, I know that I can take it.
I love that for you. Like when I saw on, I think it was your Instagram post that you had like done it, I felt like she went back, like she really followed her dream, right? And
Mm-hmm.
how even though it was something that was put on like a temporary pause, hold, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to say, that you still did it. And I think what I thought was so beautiful about it and why I wanted to talk to you was because I felt like, or I feel like as women, sometimes like we don't always consider ourselves and like dreams that we have, especially when we become a mother, right?
Oh,
Just
yes.
kind of throw ourselves into that, like making sure our children are good, that we don't still consider like what are our hopes and our dreams. And then like, and this is a struggle that I'm going through. I'm in a better place than I was, but like still trying to figure it out, right? When I got married and I had my other son, I just started to feel like lost, right? Like, dang, Tracy, like, maybe because it was like the pandemic again. Like, I don't know. It was just weird,
Oh, okay.
right? But like my life just seemed to just be consumed by making sure other people were okay, right? And I was really struggling trying to maintain my own identity as a woman, right? Like not as Lindra's wife, not as these children's mama, like who is Tracy?
Right.
What makes Tracy happy? What makes Tracy feel fulfilled outside of those titles and those roles? And so to see you um go back, right? And like do what you had always planned to do, like it made my heart really, really happy
Mm-hmm.
to see. So when you told I want to talk about when you had the conversation with your boys that you were going to do it, what did that conversation look like with them?
They hated it. It was like, Mom, why? Like, why would you do that? Like, not saying that you're too old, but just why? Why do you want to go? Like, what's the purpose? Like, I don't understand. Like, and I just told them, like, when it's something that you really want to do, you would do what you have to do it. And I've just always wanted to do it because if I don't do it, I feel like I will have that regret and say, I wish I had done it.
Yeah.
And that's not something that I wanted to do. So for me, it was now or never.
How did you, because I can imagine, right? Like at this point of your life, people are seeing you just kind of live your life, right? You've
Mm-hmm.
established yourself, right? You're a mom, you're working in the medical field, like all this stuff, right? So people are thinking like your life is fine as it is. Why do
Right.
you do that? How did you how did you not let people and their opinions not sway you from still following your dream? Because their intent was probably not to be negative, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
just having really honest and transparent conversations about what they think. But how did you stick to know, like, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm gonna do, kind of thing?
For me, it was, I'll show you. I'll show you that I can do it and that I will do it. The main thing, I think their main thing is like, oh, you're too old. They don't take, I mean, the Army has a cutoff for, I thought you had to be like 32 or I was like, okay. So it was like, I'll show you. And that was just it. Okay, watch. And it just, I mean, because I have done things. I have, stepped out on faith, took a leap of faith and just, just swung it. But I know that it was something that I wanted to do and it was something that I had to do for me. Yeah.
I like that. And I feel like I don't even know, like, because I told them just like freestyle with my questions as we're talking.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like there's just like so much. I feel like people are going to be so inspired by this, right? Because they're going to see the like, yeah, she had her kids, right? But like she kept going, like she did her thing. So now that you're in the reserve, like
Hmm.
what does that look like for your life? Like how often are you going? Are you going like locally? Like what happens with your 16-year-old while you're going? Can you just kind of
Hmm.
talk us through what that looks like in your life now?
Okay, so I first want to say that I really wanted to go active duty, but I had already did my paperwork to be reserved. And I was like, no, 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 let's go ahead and do active duty. Let's just jump right in. And they said, no, that's a whole different thing. You have to wait after training. You can come back, switch over to active duty if you want to. I'm kind of glad I didn't do that, but being a reservist is fun. I like it. We do 1 week in a month, and my unit is like 20 minutes for me.
Oh,
So,
nice.
so it's not far at all. The fun thing is I get to pick up like different assignments or different missions, and that's just going to different states and just doing whatever tasks that we have to do, and you come back. But that's me getting the experience of what active duty life would be like every day
Mhm.
versus because they called our reservists weekend warriors. Hey, I don't have a problem with that. That's fine with me. But it's fun. I look forward to um, just the years to come out because it is, like a long contract that you have to be a reservist. I can switch over at any time and do active duty, but for now, this is working for me. Um, and yeah, I'm glad I made this decision. I am very happy with it.
Are your boys and like even your family, now that they're seeing you in it, um, has their opinion like changed at all, or do they still kind of like, why my mama doing this?
Oh no, 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 I won't say not now. In the beginning, yeah, but like my family was the biggest support system ever. Like my mom, my dad, my siblings, like they were just great. The boys were good while I was gone. And anytime I go on assignment, family has my youngest. So no, I just have the best support system ever. And if it wasn't for them, then it couldn't have happened. So yeah.
I want to shift a little bit from to
Okay.
talking about you have two boys, so you're a boy mom, I'm a boy mom. My children have a large gap though. But I want to talk about just like being a woman. This question is loaded, but I want to talk about like being a mom, raising boys, right, into men, and then with your oldest being 21, what does it look like transitioning from parenting a kid to parenting an adult? So I
Ooh,
know that was a lot, but
yeah.
just wherever you want to start.
Raising boys. It was fun. It was fun and it was easy. You hear the key word was. It was easy up until, let's see, my oldest hit about 17, maybe. Yeah. And I will say that I would say around COVID, that's when it really, like right before COVID, you get into yourself and you start working. Uh, you get a little girlfriend, whatever. But just things start happening, and I'm like, okay, so this is where this is the challenging part, where you have to try to teach them things not to do because you were once 17, 18, and so you want to, just try to block them from what you think could happen because you've been there before. And then they have this, a lot of times they have to figure it out for themselves. But as a parent, you always want to, put that roadblock up. So that was hard when my oldest turned about 16, 17, because he was coming to himself. And then my youngest, of course, follows him. So I had to teach him, like, your brother looks up to everything you do. So what you do, he's gonna think he can do, but it's not that way, you know. But it's okay. Now he's 21, he can do whatever he wants to do. I mean, but I still find myself being that, wait a minute, don't do this because of this. Don't do this because of this. Or maybe you should do this. But I mean, ultimately he's gonna do what he wants to do and how, and then he'll just have to figure it out. But I'm always here. I'll always be here, regardless of what. And he'll just have to figure it out. Now, my youngest, he's easier. He's easier. They're 5 years apart, so I think maybe that has a lot to do with it. Maybe, and my youngest was, he's with me all the time versus my oldest is doing his thing. So it's he's easier, but I think my thing is the world, just preparing him for the world, because this is a crazy, like,
Yeah.
evil, like, this world is like, yeah, I mean, it sometimes, like, dang, people like do things like this. So preparing him for the world and just getting out there and one day, just leaving the house, and he'll be 18 soon. So he'll be considered an adult. That's scary. It's really scary for me, but it's okay. It's okay. I just feel like with me instilling in them how important God is, how important having faith, believing in yourself, not giving up. Just and they may not come to me now or in the next 2 years and say, "Ma, I should have listened," or "You were right." But I know at some point they will. They will say that because I did the same thing to my mom. I can remember her telling me something. And I was like, and she said, and I said, "Well, you did it." And she was like, "That's why I'm telling you not to do it because I did it." Like, listen. And I can honestly say that she never steered me wrong, ever. Never gave me any bad information. It was always something that was going to help me. And so that's what I try to do for my boys.
Good. Um, what um what advice would you give a mom? Whether it be a mom kind of like struggling to try and figure out she should follow her dreams, like just what would you say to a mom today to encourage them in their journey of motherhood?
Patience. Please be patient. Um, there isn't a wrong or a right way to, I mean, everyone has their own way of parenting their kids. So I can't tell you how to parent your child, and you can't tell me. Now I can listen to your advice, but I would say be patient and you can take the advice, because a lot of times you can learn from what someone said or how someone said to do things. So don't be so quick to, just write off, you don't tell me what to do because I know that, but life is all about learning. You learn it. It's all about lessons, and you're learning from the lessons, that life gives you. So I would be patient. I'll be understanding, and push through. Like it can be so hard. Don't be scared to like talk to someone when you need help. A lot of times we shut down, and depression, mental health is real, especially in our community. So, and it's overlooked. It's overlooked because we're so prideful that, I got this, or, it's not that big of a deal when it really is. So don't be so prideful that you don't take advice or take help when you need it. Ask for it. It's okay to ask for things. And that was a problem for me, asking for something. Like, I'm so prideful. I am, but I had to learn to, hey girl, it's not about you. You're raising two young boys. So, life is a journey, and it's all what you make it. Just, keep going. Keep going.
Day by day. I just want to ask you, you said that like the asking for help. I think that
Mhm.
having children keeps me humble. Because where I probably wouldn't be asking anybody for help, I do need help with these kids. Need some help with these kids. So like that for sure like keeps me very humble when it comes to my parents and my in-laws. Like I be needing, hey, can you get the kids? Can you whatever? And so I be
Right.
needing that.
Right.
Shania, I'm so happy that we had this conversation today of just kind of talking through your journey and your experience. Is there anything else that you want to share about like you like following your dream or just whatever that we have not already talked about?
I would say whatever you want to do in life, do it. It's not about where you start, it's where you finish, how you finish, but you have to start somewhere. Um, don't give up. Life can be hard sometimes, but I'm always trying to be optimistic about my future, about just life, about people in the world. Just keep going, but enjoy yourself. A lot of times as a mom, we get so caught up with, oh, we have to do this, we have to go here. It's just all about the kids that we lose ourselves. And you have to create time for yourself, whether it's having a self care day, going to the spa, getting a pedicure, just taking a walk. journaling, just spending time with family is my go-to thing. So family is important. So if you have that support system, that is amazing. Um, yeah, like it can be fun, but it can be hard at sometimes or challenging at sometimes. But it's all worth it. It's all worth it in the end. You got this, mamas.
All right. Shetia, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I hope that people will see this and that they will be encouraged and inspired to maybe pick back up on that dream that they had, whether it was from 10, 20 years ago, or even just a year ago, and know that they can do it. So I'm excited for people to see this. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. If you have not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe so that you can get notifications when I post new videos. And again, Shetia, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.